So it turns out that this diorama that we are discussing here is from 2025, but what happened is that I went on X, I saw the post from Marshall Bohemond, and I thought that he will not lie about this, but he did. He pretended that this is diorama for the 11th edition, but it isn't. Unfortunately, I found out too late after I already recorded this video. My bad, of course. Neither me or my co-host Tsunami knew about this. But still, if in the future such a thing actually happens and GW releases a diorama with the Custodes right now, and if that diorama does not include female Custodes, then we will actually have this video to look back on and basically be kind of like a prediction, if you will. But if nothing else, me and Tsunami have pretty interesting conversation about this, even though it is not true. So if you still want to watch that and our funny banter that we always have, this video is gonna be here for that reason. But again, guys, this diorama is not from now. It's not for the 11th edition. It is from 2025. And you can check that in the Warhammer community page. So yeah, unfortunately, stuff like that do happen. From now on, I will not trust anybody else, and I will check because I really didn't think that Marshall can lie about this. But he did. He grifted off of this, and I'm not happy about it at all because this is disingenuous and it's not how I do things. I had to let you know, absolutely honestly, I released this video as it was and I had to unlist it, and now I'm re-releasing the video so you can still have it with this disclaimer up front because not everybody are going to read the pinned comment underneath it. So without further ado, enjoy this, I guess, theoretical talk about female Custodes being included or not being included in dioramas, I guess, in the future, because they're obviously not included in this one unless you want to imagine that they're there, because the 40k armor of the Custodes that we have seen in the animation looks exactly the same as the male armor, which we're also going to discuss in this video. So guys, hopefully you have fun with the video. I'm waiting for somebody in the future comments to tell me what do they think about that, because again, I didn't see anybody else addressing this. From Marshall Bohemond, so basically he's showing here a new diorama for Adeptus Custodes for 11th edition. And he says, still using the old models, not the new ones. My pattern recognition is stinging. So basically he says that there is no female Custodes in this diorama. I mean, there's only the old models which are male. So the point here that Marshall is trying to make is that why not use the newer female Custodes models in this diorama? It does seem that GW is trying to kind of ignore them right now because they're also not featured in the 11th edition trailer. And that's the latest edition of the tabletop game. Some people do argue in the comments that those are 30k Custodes, so why do we expect that they're going to be in 40k? Well, it is because they're literally supposed to be in both. And we can see here that was actually announced at the beginning when they were first shown. They said that they're both for Warhammer 40k and 30k. Because once you establish the Custodes in the past, 10,000 years ago, it makes sense that they're still gonna be there in the future, despite not being with exactly those designs, because those are more retro 30k armor designs. So, Tsunami, we can read now exactly what you see on screen. I'm showing you what I see.
So, LinuxCast says, don't get me wrong, I too wish that Femstodes would disappear. But I have a question. Have they ever featured the new 30k Custodes in a 40k diorama or any other marketing? I know you can play the models in both, but GW has been trying to divide 30k and 40k more and more. Marshall says there has never been a single diorama or display featuring the new minis, despite them being the official cross-game replacements for the old Custodian Guard kit. In fact, the only time we see the new minis was in the week-long build-up to their release, in articles shoved off to the side so people would ignore them. Linkscast says, man, I really want to believe that lessons were learned. I'm ready to never purchase another item from this company the moment I see GW do another dumbass move like Femstodes. I'll just go back to 5th edition. From Mr. Takari, you do know the new models are meant for Horus Heresy, not 40k. They said they can be proxies on the live stream, but I guess that doesn't fit your agenda, does it? Kira Valen says, is it true in the new box you have to build half the models as female? Mago Zell says, well, it is for 40k and not Horus Heresy, so maybe they might use the newer models for a Horus Heresy ad. Cody Muad'Dib Maxing, I wonder if Custodes has really brought ruin to the people or the minority of Rage Against the Woke agenda are just easy to bash on, and we're making an even bigger deal about a nothing burger. Our Lord Silius IED Repairman, to play devil's advocate, the new models are Horus Heresy technically, so they may not be featured in 40k art.
That's it. I just want you to see what people are saying. The thing is that those Custodes are replacement. They're not just 30k.
And they wanted to drop this in the 30k lore, of course, because they're trying to go ahead and they want to make this a thing, canon and whatnot. So from Marshall's fucking post here, this is hopium. He's trying to get us to hope. Like, yo, look, they recognized their mistake. It doesn't matter. They already doubled down when they thought they had the win.
But I have another theory though. So, I think that because the female Custodes are 30k models, although they're applied to 40k as well, they apply, as the concept that they are female Custodes right now as well as before in the past. But they should have an updated design for 40k, which they don't, except for the animation that we got from GW like a year and a half ago, in which we saw a 40k female Custode wearing the exact same 40k armor of a male Custode. So technically, GW can imagine, they can just imagine that we have here actual female Custodes on the screen, but the fact that they're not recognizable is because they're wearing the 40k armor of any custodian that is male. So I don't think anybody's thinking about this, but I think that this is what could be the case in general. They don't need to spell it out. Because, if they're consistent with how they're depicting Custodes, female Custodes, in the 41st millennium, then we might as well have female Custodes right here and not even know it because they don't have their helmets off. Some do, but those are guys, as far as I can see. It's very hard to tell, but yeah, they should be guys. That is what it could be going on, and maybe there is no hope, actually. Because if you just go back and see that animation, you'll know how she looked like a man. There was no difference whatsoever in her armor. But in the 30k armor, there's actual design that's made to accommodate the female quote-unquote figure, kinda. Certainly it's more than what the male armor is. It's different. So that's my theory. Tsunami.
Yeah, it's Cope.
It's Cope. Who's coping? What do you mean?
40k fans that think this is turning around. Anyone that's fucking going ahead and monitoring this fucking company right now should know. They're trying to reach. Yeah, I'm sure the company's recognizing they're taking fucking hit after hit. I think Averno put it very well in chat. They want to retcon it into 30k so that Cavill can't argue lore inconsistency when they force him to include them in the Amazon show.
Yeah, but they cannot force him. Because it was very clear, and I do cover these things, guys, so I already went through that. But if you haven't seen, what was absolutely clear is that they have guidelines that they have to agree upon before the deal was struck. So they have clear guidelines that Amazon, let's say, will do whatever it is, but the lore and the integrity of the lore stays with GW, what they want to do with the lore. The Amazon are the ones that are the platform in which that lore gets brought up to the screen. So that is how it looked like then. Henry Cavill absolutely not sign anything that goes against the integrity of the lore. Absolutely no. So whatever that means exactly, we will see, of course. I'm not saying that this is completely deletes female Custodes, but that is how it was. They cannot change anything now because it's in their contract. The guidelines and whatever it is, it's already agreed upon 1.5 years ago, or how much long have passed since then, I don't know.
This has to do with the Amazon show. This has to do with canon.
Yeah.
So, like, very easily, if using the excuse, even GW's own excuse, they've always been there, blah, blah, blah. All Henry Cavill has to do is never talk about it, never show a fucking female custody, and everything's going to be fine. If he did heresy, just saying. if he wanted to go ahead and let's say this is a long-running, really popular fucking product, and in the 40K there's female Custodes now because everyone else is fucking dead, sure, why not? Throw that in there. No, what GW is trying to do here and what Marshall's trying to do is try and say that they are making a canonical shift. And I feel like it's fucking hopium. I really like Marshall, but this just seems like all they're doing is trying to go ahead and quietly be like, it's still canon, but we're only going to show the stuff that we want to, so that they get fans like us to go ahead and be like, they're going to change it. They're not going to fucking change it. You'd have to reset the entire fucking property, get rid of all these fucking leftist trolls out of the company, and start back over with the sexual deviant weirdos that originally started this, and then take every blue-haired fucking land whale out of the fucking company, salamander style, in Fuego, in Minecraft, of course, and then start all over, and then be like, nope, top fucking dudes from every fucking major family on Terra, that's it, and then you go ahead and re-retcon everything. This is a canonical argument that's going on right here, and sadly, I wish it was true, I just don't believe it.
Yeah. I also don't believe it, yeah. Because everything that I just said. And they, just a few weeks ago, I think, how many weeks ago? 6? So how many months is that since they announced female Custodes? Basically, we are very, very early on in female Custodes. They were trying to bring them to life for quite a while now, at least 2 years. And the fact that they decided to miss them in the 11th edition is just a choice, because they realistically cannot fit everything in the 11th edition trailer. They only try to usually fit what is the bottom line of what the 11th edition would be like. So if that does not include Custodes, they will not include Custodes at all, female or otherwise. So because, we were discussing the trailer a week ago, again, and before that, we were like, yeah, why did they forget the female Custodes? Well, maybe the answer is just simple as that they're not a part of this, or at least if they are in the background somewhere, and the main people that are going to fight, and, the planet that this is going to be taking place in, it's Armageddon. Like, why would Custodes be there at that time? They're supposed to be in the palace, and again, sometimes they go and fight in different worlds for different reasons, but for the most part, their job is to be a bodyguards of the Emperor, and there are not many of them. It's very hard to produce a Custode, like we explained before. Even more of a reason, actually, why we even have female Custodes, because how are they made? Why is it like all of a sudden that girls can survive the process, and why would you take them? Even when one woman can give birth to 1 or 2 Custodes, maybe, who knows? It's a lot worse to just take her life completely and make her become a Custode. That's like one mother less. That takes her choice. Does it have to be a mom, but it takes her choice away. And all those things. It's just a multiple layered issue. But yeah, in conclusion, or in concussion, which we can get by thinking about those things, in concussion, I do think that this is just normal, okay? Because again, if female Custodes in the 40K millennium, in the 40K millennium, supposed to look like guys, normal. There still could be here, and we wouldn't know. So yeah.
What does normal mean? I don't understand your statement. You said this is normal. What does that mean?
Yeah, well, this is a normal diorama, something that GW will put out, and it's usually what they will do. They just try to make something look epic, and that's it. And again, I think it's normal from the point of view that they're just showing what they would show female Custodes with.
This is their moment, though. Why wouldn't you show? What are I don't even know their names. They have dumb names. There's 2 female Custodes, the one from the Tithes and the one from this fucking book, Caladice, whatever the fuck her name is. Yeah. Stupid fucking woman name, but like Romanesque. Like, why aren't they being depicted here? The tabletop stuff, the old man, Yarick, you want to see him. Caiaphas Cain, you want to see him. Trazyn, you want to see him. You want to see the heroes. If this was such a fucking big deal and they were moving forwards with it, why are they not being depicted here? And my theory is this. They knew they fucked up. They threw this shit out there. they know that no matter what, similar to Doctor Who, they have already changed the canon irrevocably. So now they're just not going to fucking talk about it. But in the background, they're going to be chuckling, being like, ha ha ha, we still got them. Those chuds. We got the female Custodes in there. Even though they're going to show everything else. Let me guess. Somewhere in the castle somewhere, the female Custode General is in charge of it all. And because of her base stratagems and whatnot, that's why they fucking came to victory. This is bullshit. It's fucking cope. Straight up.
Okay. But again, I just think that they could be depicted there, but we wouldn't know because, again, if female Custodes are confirmed looking exactly like men in the 4K universe, just like it is in the animation, then they must be here by this logic, you know?
Right, so you're saying the fucking Custodes are already here?
Yeah, it could be because again, they look exactly like the males. There's no difference in the armor according to the animation. There's no difference. There's only a difference in 30K. That's it. Until we get an actual confirmation from GW that they could be here, we will never know. But technically, there's nothing stopping them to do that because they look the same. So, yeah, absolutely the same. If they're female Custodes from 30K, you will see them, but they're supposed to switch aesthetic. So, yeah, at least a little bit. I'm waiting for somebody in the future comments to tell me what do they think about that, because again, I didn't see anybody else addressing this particular thing about the change of the armor. But it is a fact from the animation, and the animation is canon. So unless you want to tell me that some of the female Custodes are going to look exactly like their 30K counterparts in 40K, then I don't know what to tell you, basically.
Someone did make a comment on that in the comments.
What
they mentioned how their weapons are similar because it's fucking custom. That's why that you can go ahead and fucking flip flop back and forth between this. By the way, out there, before you guys shit on me completely, I'm not a tabletop fucking nerd. It's when the lore gets messed with that's why I start fucking flipping out. But yes, someone did say something in the comments, at least from what I read. They had a whole ass argument. People were like, "Why are you trying to be a right wing fascist?" And he's literally like showed a side by side comparison of 30K. And fucking the different swords and spears and whatnot that were used. That's why you can't flop back and forth. It's really like insidious fucking way of going ahead and doing this. I'm telling you that my best guess is that these fucking shitheads are just going to go ahead and every once in a while take a stab and be like, ha ha, guess what? Still canon, chuds. That's all they wanted.
Just give me a second. I want to find a sentence here about that. And for those fans, the new Legio Custodes models, which can be used in both Horus Heresy and Warhammer 40K, will be available later this year. So they could be used, but I'm not sure if GW figured out themselves. Then if they could be, then where is the 40K depiction of that exact visual look of the Custodes, of that exact armor? The female version of the Custodes is missing in terms of a design like right now. Although, again, they can still say that this is the same thing. Let's put this one. Yeah, okay, so this is a female. It's very hard to tell. Yeah, I mean, they're narrower, so they're not as, broad shoulder, they're narrower. And they have something like a boob.
It looks like a pregnant Custode. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's because
like
of the belt.
Pregnant Custode, and she eats too many fucking peanut butter and fucking ice cream fucking sandwiches.
Oh my gosh. Okay, here it is from this side. So, yeah. Man, that looks like a man. Like a very ugly guy. From Mexico, by
now
the way.
It's your auntie who's past menopause, and she still has the same fucking body because she never fucking figured out. Oh yeah, I shouldn't eat just peanut butter and ice cream all the time. Oh, by the way, hey, 41st millennium. Ozempic was already created. Take some and go for a fucking walk, you fat hag. Jesus.
Give me a second. Yeah, I want to pull something up. I want to see the... I have pictures of her, but I want to see her in the armor. Like female.
Yes, ma'am. Facts.
Animation with armor. I want to see the picture. Yeah.
I wonder what the gender pay gap is in Custodes' fucking timeline in the 41st millennium.
I don't know if they...
Because you know that this fucking cow, this Karen is fucking bitching about it.
Okay, guys, be safe.
Shut the fuck up, you fat bitch! Sorry. I'll be back.
Okay, I'm gonna replace the picture so you can see the female custodian from the animation with full armor. Just give me a sec. I'm trying to find a better picture to represent her. It's very hard to say her, but if you can see, if you can tell, this is the broad-shouldered, the square pecs type of armor. They don't actually have pecs, it's just the shape. But that's the female custodian from 40K animation. And that is the first visual representation of a female custodian that we ever got.
This fucking garbage that we're seeing right now. I'm going back to Imperial. Every Imperial city, find the local hookers. You're not making babies no more. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Now you're the fucking Emperor's fucking guardians. You're the fucking bodyguards and everything else.
Okay.
What the? Sorry, I'm bitching.
Yes, take a look at this, guys. So this is the female custodian from the animation. This is how she looks like with and without her helmet. Oh, look at that face. She got to women's plane to this Astardia. That's another thing. So yeah, this is her look. Absolutely classic Custodes. Nothing female about it whatsoever. And this is 40K. So yeah, here you go. That's my theory. That some Custodes just look like that in 40K. Because they should, since this is canon. And that's it. Discuss in the comments. What do you think? Until we get an actual confirmation from GW that Custodes can also look like this, and not only like that, which is clear difference. It's clear difference. Then we can just speculate about what actually GW are doing, but I don't think that they're literally removing the Custodes. I just don't think that. They also released this huge encyclopedia that I also reported about like 1 year ago, and everybody and me were like, oh, maybe Custodes are deleted now because there's nothing in this encyclopedia. The Custodes there are still men. Yeah, but this was set to print and it was made before the Custodes, so it wasn't. I mean, GW didn't do anything to update it when it comes to the Custodes back then. They just released it this way. Actually, they weren't even the guys that were releasing it. Somebody else did. I don't know how the things with the rights are with whoever is the publisher. But the point is, they didn't do that. They didn't care to do that. So if you buy this encyclopedia, I can say that. Today you'll still see male Custodes there, although it's the latest one of its kind. I don't think there's a second one. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments about these guys. So tonight I'm finishing words about this.
Gay!
Sacred might, their purpose burning crystal bright, to lift the throne world from its plight and guard humanity's light.